Good morning, everybody. You're watching the morning news on CNN News 18. My name is Aisha Varma. We're a few minutes away from 9 a.m. right now, and we have some exclusive breaking information that's coming in. This is from Pakistan. In another embarrassment for Pakistan, the Pakistan government sent relief material that had been received from Turkey when the country was witnessing major floods back to Turkey. This is the material that the Sindh government received during the flood dispatch, and according to sources, they changed the front box but forgot to change the inner box of the material. Now, the matter has been raised before the Pakistan External Affairs Ministry by the Consulate General. This comes after Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif was asked not to visit Turkey, but with great difficulty, Turkey allowed him to visit after 7 days. Let's take a look at an excerpt from a Pakistani channel where they speak about Pakistan sending the relief box back to Turkey.
तुर्की भी लाहौर से गए हैं और तुर्की से एक अजीबो गरीब किस्म की खबर आई।
अच्छा,
वहां सामान पहुंचाइए सिंध से शायद, और वहां सामान पहुंचा, उसके ऊपर लिखा हुआ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ सिंध, हुकूमत पाकिस्तान टैग लगा हुआ। उन्होंने जो खोला है तो अंदर से वो निकला है पैकेट के तुर्की की तरफ से मोहब्बत के साथ जो सैलाब के दिनों में भेजा था उन्होंने सामान, वही पैकेट पैक करके भेज दिया।
शर्मिंदगी की बात है।
मकसद अब मुझे नहीं पता वहां का मीडिया रिपोर्ट करता है या लिहाज करता है हमारा, ठीक है ना। ये वहां के कॉन्सुलेट जनरल को किसी को खबर दी है तो कितनी क्या एम्बैरेसिंग सिचुएशन है।
We're crossing over to CNN News 18's foreign affairs correspondent Abhishek Jha to get us more on this. Abhishek, we just listened to an excerpt from a Pakistani channel where even they are calling this a major embarrassment. They're saying it's a matter of shame. Why do you think Pakistan continues to face major embarrassment one after the other?
Because clearly, Aisha, Pakistan is in no position to sustain its own economy, let alone support and help or come for aid to an economy which is, or a country which has seen this calamity, unprecedented calamity that has happened in Turkey. But still, to express the solidarity and to ensure that it appears as an all-weather friend to Turkey, Pakistan had to do something even as a token gesture. So it sent some relief materials, but then again, it didn't have its own resources. So all the relief material that was sent to Pakistan way back during the flood, they were repackaged and wrappers were changed. It was pasted that it was for the people of Turkey from people of Pakistan, and then it was sent. Later, when those boxes were unboxed, the relief materials had, the pasting of Turkish relief material that was sent by the Turkey way back. So clearly an embarrassing situation for Pakistan because it is now a very dwindling economy, a country which has no standing in terms of economic prowess. It is actually finding it difficult to sustain its own pressure of inflation, pressure of cost of living has increased. We know that Pakistan's current foreign exchange reserve has reduced to almost 7 to 8% of what it was a year ago. So clearly, a thing that Pakistan is very worried. People and experts are saying that the overall exchange reserve that Pakistan has can only suffice to up to 2 weeks of import, and that is a huge problem for Pakistan because most of the essential commodities, fuel, fertilizers, are coming from abroad to Pakistan, and in a situation where Pakistan is not getting any financial aid, assistance, or any release of money, even from International Monetary Fund, it can be a worrisome problem. But again, as a neighborhood, as a country in South Asia, Pakistan wanted to express its solidarity and its power and prowess to help and aid people, help and aid countries around the world. And in that context, it had to reuse the same material, relief material that it had got as a relief from Turkey, and they sent it back to Turkey. So it's a clear embarrassment for Pakistani national and Pakistani government.
Absolutely. Abhishek, do stay with us. We're also being joined by Mr. Patrikit Payne, who's a security analyst. Mr. Payne, thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 18. The breaking development, and this is a CNN News 18 mega exclusive, is that Pakistan not only sent a relief box that they had received from Turkey back to Turkey during this period where they're dealing with the aftermath of the earthquake, but they also forgot to change the inner box, the material of that. They did, however, change the front box that was there.
Well, Pakistan has mastered the art of inviting insult from rest of the world, and no one can actually, reach the benchmark that they have achieved. In all honesty, if Pakistan's establishment had stated that this was the material that Turkey had given to us and we are returning it because Turkey needs it more, I think no one would have complained in that case. But the kind of forgery and the fraudulent activity they do in terms of changing the packaging, and that too they don't do it with sincerity by, as you mentioned, that the inner boxes were not changed. It shows the level where they have reached. I think the purpose for which they did it is not about showing solidarity with Turkey, but to show that, okay, India is doing quite a bit for Turkey, so we are also trying to do something. This is the problem with Pakistan. I think Pakistan should first help itself than helping others, because Pakistan needs help more than anyone else, help from itself. But nobody actually helps Pakistan today is because of this lack of trust and this whole fraudulent activity, as they have demonstrated by giving back the Turkish state to Turkish people again by changing the name and logo. The issue is this: today, if IMF or other so-called allies of Pakistan are not willing to give Pakistan any money, it's because they know that the establishment will do this kind of fraudulent activity and siphon of the money elsewhere instead of using the money for improvement of Pakistan's economy. Pakistan's problem is lack of sincerity. Pakistan had never invested in creating a viable economy, and all the time for them, the only thing has been about doing chicanery in terms of for the purpose of earning some quick funds and quick, laurels for whatever reason. So today, the condition of Pakistan's economy and what they have demonstrated by doing to Turkey are the underlying reason for both are the same. It is simply the lack of sincerity, the lack of integrity, the lack of genuine approach of the establishment of Pakistan in bringing good name to Pakistan and in doing something which is in all honesty and integrity. That integrity is lacking, and that has been demonstrated all over again.
And how do you see Pakistan's position on the global stage?
I don't think Pakistan has a position anymore. Pakistan never had a position. First of all, it has always leveraged its geopolitical, position in terms of strategic location for leveraging all kind of advantages. First, they earned money from the Americans and the Middle Eastern countries to create the Mujahids to fight the Soviet invasion in Afghanistan. Then they played the victim card, and they so-called fought the war on terror, for which also they earned money. And for now they wanted to earn money by using the pretext of floods or the precarious condition of Pakistan's economy. Reality is Pakistan elite has always siphoned off the money elsewhere, and they have radicalized the whole country. It is a country which has never invested in the future of the economy or the future of its people. It has radicalized the country. It has only invested in terror activities, terror funding, terror incubation centers. And that's the outcome. And the outcome of the whole thing today is not only the predicament that Pakistan is facing today in terms of economy, but the fact that nobody wants to help this country because they know that this country eventually needs to be, disintegrated, and it needs to get into the bottomless pit from where there is no return, because they have become a menace for the whole world.
Mr. Payne, do stay with us. We're also being joined by Mr. B.S. Jaiswal, who's a defense expert. Mr. Jaiswal, thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 18. We'd like your opinion on the fact that Pakistan has sent a relief box that they received from Turkey when they were witnessing major flooding back to Turkey, and they hadn't even changed the inner box of the aid. How do you see this?
Well, Pakistan's economic situation at this moment is rather dismal. And they're running around with a begging bowl all over the world, trying to get relief from others. For them to send back the same aid which had come from Turkey, well, it is just nothing to beyond trying to remain relevant. That here we are your all-weather friend, and we can send you something. Though our knees are down, but our spirit is there for you. But the fact of the matter is that they don't have anything. There is a limit of, I would say, manufacturing an idea to send aid to Turkey using their own, the aid that they had got from Turkey. So, Pakistan, everything is wrong as of now. But still they want to say, no, we are relevant, we have good intentions, we want to help a country which has been close to us. So this is a big sham anyway. They're getting exposed by the day for every action of theirs.
All right, Lieutenant General B.S. Jaswal, thank you so much for giving us your opinion on this. We're also being joined by Major General K.K. Sinha, who's also a defense analyst. Mr. Sinha, thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 18. How do you think Pakistan needs to change its priorities when they're dealing with matters like giving aid to other nations? Because we're again covering a major development for Pakistan where they've sent a relief box that they received from Turkey back to Turkey without changing the inner material.
Good morning and Jai Hind to you. See, this act of Pakistan is further, not only exposing them, but, it is such a pity thing which they have done it. It is, I feel, they want to do the competition with India everywhere. When we were sending, the relief and NDRF team was going, they wanted to fly over the Pakistan. They said, they can't fly over because we are using, the competition is that. And both Prime Minister of Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif, and Bilawal Bhutto wanted to go to Turkey. During this time, they got a snap over there. And this exposure now, the same material which they got it from the Turkey as an aid. And mind you, before this, Nawaz Sharif and Bilawal were both, they were there in Turkey. They got something, not only for the flood relief, and they have shown those, same thing back. It shows two things, two exposures are there. First thing, the material which came from Turkey, it was not used for the purpose for which it came. And this is the habit. This is, they get everything, but it remains centralized for the use of the people who are matters and the state in Pakistan. The second thing is, they want to have a competition. Competition with what? They want to remain relevant, that they are sending an aid, they are sending a team over there. That is not the way. And especially the snub they got it when both of them, they wanted to go and Turkey said, okay, this is not the time to come. So they Pakistan can't think, it has got some bankruptcy of, at international, at global level, and they have got bankruptcy within their own internal situation, whether it is economic, whether it is, security matters. Pakistan doesn't know what, how to do it, how to handle. They have gone absolutely berserk in their, everything. They do not know how to handle things. And this is a glaring example, where only the exposure of a failing state, a state which is a, problem of everything. They try to, actually, with the Turkey, at one stage, Imran Khan, with Erdogan, Imran Khan, and Muhajir Mohammed of Malaysia. They wanted to have a center of power in Islamic world. They wanted to have something different. So those exposures are getting, out in the public, and this is a high time the Pakistan, the whole world should understand how to deal with. They have gone worse than Afghanistan. They have gone, anything you can think of with the Syria, Yemen, they have gone down. It is not the only epicenter of all problems of the world, but today this exposure further reinforces those things which we are generally analyzing.
All right, Major General K.K. Sinha, thank you so much for joining us and for giving us your opinion on this entire matter for Pakistan. We will continue to track how this develops. We are going to wait to see what the reaction is from the Pakistan government and see whether there's going to be a clarification or a justification. For right now, we're going to shift focus. There's some breaking news coming in.